Alright, this is Jimmy Howe from Jimmy's Pizza and Grill, and I'm going to interview him on his business. If you would, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Recently divorced. I have 3 kids. Of course, the restaurant. Went through a lot of different jobs to get where I'm at now. So we've been here now for almost 2 years. This October will be 2 years. October 29.
And why did you decide to go into business for yourself?
Well, like I said, I ran a lot of other businesses for several other people, made them a lot of money, and then during the process of the divorce, visited a lot of bars and said, okay, I want to try something completely different. Instead of making everybody else's money, I'm going to try to make my own.
Alright, and could you tell me about how you got started?
As far as in the restaurant, like I said, I got to know one of the local restaurant owners really well and just kind of went through and asked him questions because, like I said, this is my first restaurant. And in hindsight, after speaking with people, it is one of the most businesses fail as far as restaurants. 80% of them fail within the first year, so it was an uphill battle to start with. So always looking for a challenge, and seeing the potential for some good money. Like I say, it takes a while. You're not going to get rich quick. It's just a slow process.
Alright, and how's your business structured?
All right. The way I do it is some people rule a little bit more by the fist and yelling, and we try to talk to people. I have my front of house. I have a certain lady that handles the front of the house as far as the waitresses and their schedule, and that way it frees me up to do other stuff. Then I also have a kitchen manager that handles the back of the house, the drivers. That way, if I don't have to answer, because we have 22 different employees here now, I don't have to personally go and talk to every one of them. If there's a problem, they filter out the small problems, and if it gets to be a bigger problem, then it comes to me. That way, it gives me a little more time to do stuff with the kitchen and meeting with the customers.
That's great. Tell me about what products you sell and why you sell that group of products.
2 years ago when we started out, pretty much all we done was pizza, wings, and hot subs. So, and then families can only eat so many pizzas during the week, so that's the reason we started in with the pastas. We do, of course, calzones. We do our daily specials just to try to give people a different routine. Where they'll come in, eat the special, and then come back later in the week or some other time to eat the pizzas. So you get them more than once a week.
Yeah, that's smart. What is the mission statement for your business?
That's a good one. Since I've really thought about this one, since you give me this, I'm really just to try to have it where people can come have fun and just interact with one another and just have a place they can come let loose. We have kids. We have the big grass field here beside us. They come and play, and people come. It's kind of like a family here. We have a lot. Most all my business is repeat customers, and they all come in, and it's everybody gets to know each other, and we just take care of each other. And it's good food, and I think if someone has a problem, they can approach you about it and not feel bad about saying something, because we do have that atmosphere here.
Yeah, that's great. What is your vision for the future of your business?
Currently, we're looking to move from this shopping center to have our own freestanding building and have other places rent from us as well, so it'll be a lot bigger. We'll go more also with the bar food like we have now, and then we're going to be adding a fine dining restaurant with it also. So you have 2 different choices. If you want to have just a date night and want to sit down to a fine dinner, you can. You have tablecloths, a little different menu, but it's a lot bigger building. We'll also be serving breakfast as well at that time. So be quite a few more employees.
All right, that's perfect. Where do you see yourself in your business in 10 years or to 20 years?
That's really going to depend on somewhat of my kids a little bit, whether they decide to take it over. I've already been approached about franchising. So that's the decision we're going to make here in the next couple of years, which way we're going to go with it. If we're going to keep growing or if we're going to stay where we're at, if the kids take it over or if someone tries to buy it out. It's hard to say, after a couple of years from now.
Do you believe there is some sort of pattern or formula to becoming a successful entrepreneur?
You got to have a location and you got to have a good product as far as a restaurant goes. Like I say, I've run other businesses, and you're all about your word. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, you gotta do it. You may not like it. You gotta be prepared to sacrifice. And you're the last person to get paid. You know, there's a lot of people says, guy, he's got a lot of money, but they don't see all the overhead. I mean, it's all about the pennies. You know, people says it's all about the dollar. It's actually not. If you can save pennies on something you use a lot of, those pennies add to dollars really quick. From the time I've started till now, what it takes to run this place has dropped considerably because of pinching pennies, and those pennies do add up.
All right, what is the best way to achieve long-term success, in your opinion?
In my opinion, long term, once again, you gotta be, it's like my granddad, I'm gonna start back there. Years ago, I mean, almost 30 years ago now, he told me, you do one person wrong and they're gonna tell 10 people. But if you do 10 people right, they might tell one person. So you've gotta do your best. If you tell a customer you're gonna do something, you do your best to try to achieve what you've told them. And that's probably the best piece of advice I can give.
Well, what motivates you besides
Besides the dollar?
Yeah, besides the dollar.
It's family and reputation. You want to be successful. I mean, you know, my family's been in Forsyth County. They started in 1959 and they're still in business. So
That's great.
you gotta have a good reputation, you know, and that's the thing that I find a big problem with young people today is they'll work and quit. They have no work ethic. I say no. For the most part, their work ethic is very little. They'll turn in a notice and not even work their notice, or they'll not even show up. They'll get their paycheck and just be gone. I mean, and that says a lot about somebody. I mean, I've had people think that I'm a bad boss, and then they go work for somebody else and they just up and quit, and they want to come back after they find out I'm not near as bad as the ones that are out there. So the biggest thing is for young people, if you decide you're going to do something, don't burn bridges, because you never know if you're going to have to cross back over them.
That's good advice. What would you say are the top 3 skills needed to be a successful entrepreneur?
In the restaurant business, you guys, once again, I'm not so much on location. If you have a good product and you have a good atmosphere and a good experience, they'll drive a little further. You know, I have people that drive from Woodstock because of just for the pizza. I have people that drive, they pass another pizza restaurant just to get here because of the atmosphere. It's more family, and if you want to be the rough and rowdy crowd, then that'll be what you attract. And if people know that you're not going to put up with all the rip-raff as far as the yelling and cussing and fighting, I think in 2 years, I think we've had one incident in 2 years, almost 2 years, because they know we don't tolerate, there's nobody around yelling and cussing. And like I say, there's a lot of family around here, and my kids are here. So, you know, we try to keep everything to a minimum, and everybody understands it and respects it. And when they come in, they know what they're going to get here.
Right. What kind of culture exists in your organization?
As far as working, or
Yeah.
me personally, and that's the thing is we joke and cut up here, is we try to make it where the employee comes in and they actually enjoy working because they can cut up and carry on. But when it's time to get serious, if they're not doing right, they know, okay, somebody's going to say something. So instead of putting all this work on another employee, everybody else, pitches in. Like if somebody's section is really busy, other girls will come by and help pick up dishes, or if the dish guy's behind, the waitresses or one of the cooks can help kick in. And this way, everybody helps each other, because there's times you're going to need help on your job. So, and make it enjoyable where everybody gets along, and you don't have all the drama, and you don't bring your personal life into it. You kind of leave it at the door where you can come in and just kind of get away from everything. So we try to be happy-go-lucky here.
All right. That's all the questions we've got. So thank you.
Absolutely.